What is the best way to start your day? Today on the Landlord Coach Daily Is Show.
Five, four, three, two, one, zero, ignition, liftoff.
Hey everybody, good evening. My name is Mark Dolfini, Landlord Coach, and welcome to the Landlord Coach Daily Is Show. And I am your Landlord Coach. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. So we're going to be talking about what is the best way to start your day. And there's a lot of different topics that cover this very thing. I know a lot of entrepreneurs watch this show because I cover more than just stuff that's related to rental property stuff. I do cover some, some other stuff and some rental property stuff, but others, there's a lot of entrepreneurs who watch this because they dial into the VIP method that I wrote about in the Time Wealthy Investor. I'll talk about how you can get a copy of that for free if you are interested. But how you start your day is this is a big thing for entrepreneurs because you have lots of different options, right? I remember when I first started, it was truly, actually, the only thing that I had on my plate was whatever I had created. And I thought about, well, crap. I've got, I'm sitting down. I had my rental properties. At the time, I was also doing some day trading. I was also had a couple flip properties that I was doing, and I had some paperwork that I had to get done. And I'm thinking, okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'm getting to jump on the day, and there I am looking at my computer, staring at the blinking cursor, wondering like, okay, what in the hell am I going to do right now? There's so many different directions that I could go in that was the problem. I had too many choices. It's like if a room catches fire and there's only one exit, there's only one way for me to go, right? Where when there's multiple exits, you can go left and right. There's too many choices. There's too many things for me too many directions I could possibly go in. Well, that was the problem that I found myself in when I was a young, new entrepreneur in the business trying to figure out, hey, the world's my oyster. I can go and do whatever it is I want. And this is the thing, right? So there's how you start your day, in my opinion. Now, this is a little slanted because I absolutely love the morning. The morning is absolutely my best energy. It's my most creative time. It's my best time of the day. I love watching the sunrise. I love listening to I love getting up before everybody else does. And most of my family does not. So they're like, Dad's being a morning person again. And they've come to an acceptance of it. I can't say that they love it, but there's an acceptance of it. But I absolutely love the morning, and I love the stillness of the air in the morning, and I love that it's just, you maybe hear some distant traffic and things like that. We don't live in a real busy area, but I just love that. That's my best time, and that is my best energy. And I'm going to talk about best energy here in a minute. But some people get up and the first thing that they do is they exercise. And while I have not adopted that routine yet, I used to do that a few years ago, but kind of fell out of the routine. I don't like exercising in the winter. It's cold. I hate it. Whatever. I don't want to get out. But yeah, I know it's an excuse, limiting belief. I get that. But I will adopt that again, especially now that it's warm again, and I'm starting to look like a sausage in some of my clothes. That busted can of biscuits look is not really what I'm going for. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But that said, I want to adopt an exercise routine first thing in the morning. My feet hit the floor, I pull on my gym clothes and go do my thing. And some people will do that. Some people they read. Some people they just they scramble out of bed. They wait to the last possible second and until they hit the snooze button 12, 15 times and then get in the shower, and that's kind of how they start their day. I really like to be intentional in terms of how my days are starting. So for me, when my alarm goes off, it goes off once, and I have one that's set for 5 minutes. But that, excuse me, that first 5 minutes after my alarm has gone off, I'm listening to I'm just kind of sitting there, get my thoughts organized, and man, I'm really froggy today all of a sudden. But anyway, I go through that waking up process, right? And then after I do the wake up, then I'll get up and my second alarm will go off, and that's when I'm hitting the ground running and I start my day. So the main thing that I'm looking at that point in time is what do I have. I start my routine. I have a very specific routine that I do, and at that point in time, I'm getting in the shower. I read the Bible for a little bit in the morning. There's a Bible study program that I like to watch, and then I go to the office, and if I'm dropping the kids off at school, and I'm usually in the office pretty early. But from that point forward, my routine is very structured because I want to use my best energy for the best stuff. I want to set my day up for success, and I'll do a visioning thing like before I even start like visioning. Like it's almost like a self hypnosis thing that I do. And for me, I'm literally setting myself up with my best energy to do my best stuff, to do my best mind work, to do my best work in the morning. My best work is always on me. So that's for me. So, many entrepreneurs that I know, and I suffered from this problem for a while, was I had too many options. And usually what I would do is I would, try to do as many work things oriented as I could, get to whatever was on fire the hottest. That's the thing that I would do that particular day. And it was really interesting because when I was doing that approach to doing my work, and I would go and I would work from 6 in the morning till 10 at night, and get home, scramble, eat dinner, and then go ahead and do the same thing for the next day for the rest of my life. I was not only the most miserable, but I also felt like I was just running in wet oatmeal. I felt like I was never getting anywhere. The interesting thing is I have a much shorter workday now, but it's so filled and so much more purposeful that at the end of the workday, because my day is laid out in advance. So what I do, and the best way to start your day, in my opinion, is to plan it the day before. That I feel is so much more intentional because like if here I am at the end of the day, it's a little bit later than I normally work, but here I am at the end of my day and I've already got in mind of what I have to do first thing tomorrow morning when I'm coming out of the gate and taking care of the most critical things that I have to take care of. It's rarely do I open my emails first thing in the morning. Rarely. I might check them on my phone real quick, but even then I'm pretty clear to, have those boundaries in place. But the first thing that I do, I always make sure that I try to schedule as much as I possibly can. Sometimes I don't, and I always regret it. But when I plan my day in advance, I'm not trying to, walk up to the line of scrimmage and try to call the play from there. I mean, yeah, you might call an audible from time to time, but I want to know what the play is before I walk to the line of scrimmage. I want to know what my plan is before I get to the office because my brain is already processing what it is I have to do, and usually I try to process the suckiest thing first so I can get that out of the way. Then the rest of the day is easy. So if it may be an email that I have to make, if it may be a phone call I have to do, it might be something else that's related to something that I really am, hoping that I don't want to. I just kind of want to get it out of my bandwidth. So that's the first thing that I always do is try to get those things. Now, if it's a bigger task that's going to take multiple days to get done, I might break that up into smaller chunks, or I might allocate a full day to something where I can basically build a bunker and shut my door and work on whatever I have to do all the way through. I still am really specific on making sure, really intentional on making sure that if I'm going to have lunch with my bride, I still have lunch with her, that I'm not, bastardizing anything else that is part of my vision, right? So ultimately, at the end of the day, I still want to do the things that are in alignment with my vision, and that keeps me from wandering left and right. With multiple businesses that I own and run, well, I don't run every single one of them, but part of them that I own and other people run them. I'm part owner of a couple, right? I want to make sure that whatever it is that I have to do is really intentional. Like I'm not wandering left and right, and at the end of the day, I'm left completely exhausted, and I wonder, when my sons ask me, how was your day? I could say it was good. And they would say, well, what did you do today? And I could say, I did this, this, and this. And if it was only one or two things, but if I got only one of those two things done and complete, I feel like my day has been worthwhile, right? So I think the way that you start your day really sets the frame, the pre-frame up for how your day ends. And like before I leave the office here, I'm gonna go home and I'm already gonna know what my day tomorrow is going to look like. So that's, I think, for me. I think the other thing of this too, and we're gonna wrap this show up for the day. But I think the main thing is to identify when your best energy is. And some of you don't come alive until 10 o'clock at night when I'm like crashing. And I get that. So maybe for you, you have a slower start to your day and you know your best energy is at night. So you just need to modify when you're going to get those things done. The problem that I see with people who work that way is you don't have any boundaries because you're working from home, you're working from wherever else it is, and there you are propped up in front of a TV, and you're working, and this is at the expense of your home life. So as long as you can establish boundaries for when you do work and when you don't work, maybe during the day you take it easy. You don't take any phone calls. You don't do stuff. You just kind of chill out. Maybe you take naps throughout the day. And then at 6 o'clock, that's when your workday starts and you work till 2 or 3 in the morning. I totally understand that because sometimes that's when people work the best. For them, they love it because everybody's asleep and nobody's blowing up their phone and no one's clogging up their email and they can get all their stuff done. And I had people who were, people who were working on my website at one time, blowing up my email at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, who the hell is emailing me at 2 o'clock in the morning? Because I could hear it on my phone, and then I realized it was them because they had questions in terms of, hey, do you want this copy on that page and this, that, and whatever thing, and I'm thinking, oh, what the hell are you doing up at 2 o'clock in the morning? Right? But that's when they work. That's when they had their best energy. So I think identifying when your best energy is and then identifying it the day before. So when you are working, you're purposeful, it's in alignment with your vision, and you're doing all the things that are that the highest and best use of your energy and your time. So that's all I have for today. What is the best way to start your day? I know this was a little bit off the beaten path of landlord coaching stuff, but I know, like I said, I do know that there's quite a few entrepreneurs that watch this show and send me messages, and I do appreciate that. So that's all I have for today, guys. So I am going to be, I'm really excited because at the end of the week, we are going to be having the inner circle. I have my inner circle coaching students are going to be meeting for our mastermind, and I've got a couple of new students that are going to be joining us, so I'm really super stoked about that. So everybody gets to meet each other, and yeah, so I'm super stoked. So if you see my energy level skyrocketing towards the end of the week, you'll understand why. But that's all I have for today, everybody. Please be sure to place a value on your free time, because if you don't, someone else will. But most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.